hope we have been blessed tonight through the talk agriculture, a vital ground to emerge. And I want us to make use of everything we have learned in this first program and not allow it to go on fertile grounds. And coming up tonight is Kostan Asabia from USA will be adding the second talk and the strategy on how to emerge as a social change agent. Strategy on how to emerge as a social change agent. I want us to stay tuned and listen attentively. And I pray may God bless us as we are in Jesus' name. Amen.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, great minds. Thank you for this opportunity. Pastor Sagi Johnson has been my friend for quite a while. Thank you for giving me this platform to be able to speak to great minds today. My name is Constant Asabia. I'm from Ondo State, Idoani to be precise, the biggest small city that have produced great minds in this country. And I currently live in the United States of America. I'm an IT analyst and cybersecurity expert. Prior to coming to the United States, I used to work with a big firm, IT firm in Nigeria, where I learned a lot of the things I know about IT. And this company was started by two brothers from their garage in Lagos. And that story really encouraged me and prompted me to have my own organization. So I was the company first staff in Abuja when I moved to Abuja, and I decided after a few years to start my own organization too, which is an IT firm, and we were able to contribute and implement some projects in Nigeria. But along the line, I kept discovering myself, knowing that I have this passion for youth, because the problem at that point was we didn't have so much mentors to look up to, people that would talk to us, that will encourage us to be who we want to be in life. Along the line, I kept meeting people, and I, at a point, was able to meet with the former governor of Ondo State, who was the then Minister of Housing in FCT Abuja. And, I was able to do a couple of IT projects for him. And when he was moving to Ondo State as the governor, I decided to go run for an office because there's a saying that it's when good people don't act that bad people thrive. And I believe that the story in this country we all know is because we have the same set of people going into politics every time. So I decided to move into politics to run for an office. So eventually became a special advisor on the information technology to the governor of Ondo State. And at that point, I wanted to use my office to reach out to the young ones, the youth, the graduates who, instead of them, waiting for government to do things for them, we want to be able to discover talent. And with the help of a very good friend of mine, Yemi Adekogoke to be precise, we were able to stage the first Youth Economic Summit in Ondo State. That's where we discover a lot of young talent. People were coming to my house, where we had the first IT hub in Ondo State at that point, from different colleges around Ondo State, from FUTA, Ondo State University, Afe Babalola, and a couple of other universities around, and polytechnics. So my house became a hub for the young people, where we were focused on social change and how we can use IT to, develop and provide solution to the problems at hand. We happen to be the first group that did Google mapping for Ondo State. Before then, the Youth Economic Summit was organized, and we invited great people like Fela Durotoye, Dayo Israel, Femi Pedro, to come and talk to the people. And from there, I had the passion of keeping the people we discover, and we're able to get two of my great minds into Microsoft and Google and some other IT companies, and these guys are doing really well today. I said that to say this. There's a saying from Ralph Waldo Emerson that says, "Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail." This brought me to the point where a lot of us in Nigeria and Africa and some part of the world too, we have this sense of entitlement, waiting for government, parents to do things for us. But I realized that you have to go ahead and get what you want. Number one, you have to determine what you want, what you like. My story was not that smooth and easy. I had to fight for everything that I was able to achieve. And up till now, I'm still on that battleground. With the grace of God, we're still thriving, and we're still hoping and desiring to do more. And I know that this is part of the reason why Pastor Osagi have organized this program, to be able to speak to great minds like you. Consider yourself very lucky to have people who want to mentor you. And I know there are a great number of people here that have a lot of ideas. And these ideas will scare you to the point that you don't even know where to start. But I'm happy to tell you today that you have to start somewhere. The journey of 1,000 times start from one point. And I would like to encourage you that let no man talk you out of your dreams. I will encourage you to have your dreams written out, what you want to achieve written out, placed by your bedside. Put it in your purse. This will encourage you when you wake up every day and you see it by your mirror side, by your bedside, to be able to do a lot. I remember starting my own company. When I wrote my resignation letter, I didn't know what to do, but I've registered my company. I was ready to move. I didn't know how to get the first project. But the thing is, I was ready. I was prepared. And that's one point I would like to bring up to you. When you're prepared, when opportunity comes, it finds you. It is very important. People just don't wake up and become an opportune millionaire, billionaire one day. So I was prepared. I was ready. I've been doing that for about 4 years before I put in my resignation, and I knew inside of me that it was time for me to move on. And I tell you this, the first week after my resignation, I woke up, I was at the bank, and I met an old friend who had an opportunity. They had a problem, and I was the solution to it. If I wasn't ready, that wasn't going to be, an opportunity for me as well. So I was ready, and the opportunity came, and before you know it, it opens up a lot of market for me. And because of the high standard I got from my former company, I was able to, do more. I was able to be focused, and this really helped us grow the company, and we're able to, impact a lot of people. My aim in life has always been to invest in human beings. That's the greatest investment you can ever do in life. And which brings me to today's topic, which says the strategy on how to emerge as a social change agent. Let me define a social change agent for you. In my note here, it says social change is the process of shifting attitude, values, and actions to address social problems in a positive way. What do we mean by that? Every society, every community have their own challenges. I won't call it problems, I'll call it challenges, ranging from challenges to feed people, produce enough food for people, education, transportation, and think about anything and everything in life. They're all challenges. Me and you are here today. We can talk to each other, I'm in the United States, because some people saw it a challenge and they were able to provide a solution to it. I will say this first. Who are you? What is your passion? What do you want? How do you want to be part of the people that change the world for better? Unfortunately, we've had a lot of leaders that we can call good leaders. And today, I would like us not to look at those people. I want us to look at ourselves to being a social change agent. People that will bring positivity to our countries, to immediate family. And first of all, from years of studying great people, I realized that their focus is not about their pocket. It's not about their selfish interest. Their focus is solving humanity problems. And that's exactly what gives them the platform to reach out to the world. You want to talk about Microsoft, you want to talk about Google, you want to talk about Facebook. These are people that were looking for opportunities to connect people in one way or the other. One thing I realized let's talk about Microsoft for a while. I realized that when they started pushing their product. And if you go to everywhere and anywhere, you have copied products that were, not licensed, that were copied, that were stolen. And you know what he told his people? He said, let them be able to do that. He gave them the opportunity to be able to copy. But this is an age where we got to, and I think that's the future he's been looking at, where for you to have any Microsoft product, you need to log on. You need to be on the internet. Now you can't steal it anymore, except somebody gives you their own access, but somebody must pay for it. So all those years was the free marketing years for him. He was able to distribute, he was able to put his product on everybody's face, and today you can't do without it anymore, but you have to pay for it. Same with the likes of Google, same with the Facebook. And there's an opportunity that came out not too long ago about Zoom. Zoom was working with a big company, but he needed to reach out to his wife. He wanted to talk to his wife on video because he couldn't travel all the time, and the company said no, that it's not a good idea. There were so many competition around it. But these guys today, this year alone, the pandemic has given him the opportunity to rise to the occasion. Every organization, a lot of schools and churches use Zoom today. So I want you to think about what you want. I want you to think about how you want to impact your environment, how you want to impact the next people, the next person sitting beside you, how you want to create positive environment. Look at us in Nigeria. We have all the resources we can think of in the world, but yet we're still where we are today. Why? Because of bad leadership. What do you want to do to change the notion of bad leadership? It starts from you talking to your folks about going out and voting without selling their next 4 years. It starts about your conscience. It starts about what you want to do to stay positive. If you sell your 4 years with how much right now, then you don't have a reason to complain that the leaders you have are not doing well. But if you stand your ground and choose the right leaders, you can go back and challenge them and say, yeah, I voted for you, and these are the things I need from you. A lot of us are out of the country right now because the countries we're in were built by great-minded people, the great-minded people. And the same thing with Nigeria. We can be there. We can become the best country in the world with great leaders like you, and you can be better for yourself and your society. Because today, if you create an opportunity, you will be able to employ a lot of people and put food on other families' tables. So I want to encourage you today, ladies and gentlemen, that nothing can stop you but yourself. I want to be able to tell you that if we can be where we are today, with all the struggles, without great mentors around us, but the little we have, we were able to encourage ourselves. We were able to fight through. And I tell you, nobody is going to give you on the platter of gold. I remember some people will say, oh, I just wish I sleep and wake up and become a billionaire. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. You have to fight for what you want. That's how life is. Even when you pray, when you are created, God has given you everything that you need to become who you want to be. The purpose He has created you, He has given you all the resources for that. But the problem is, we do not act. The Bible says, faith without works is dead. So if you don't work and you say you have faith, you are deceiving yourself. Take the right first step. So my number one strategy to emerge as a social change agent is to have a clear vision. I'll say you pick a course to change. And I'll give you an example. I know a lot of us know about Akon, the popular African-American musician. He was a successful musician in America, but he has a passion for Africa. And he sold everything he made here in the United States and went back to Africa to provide electricity from every village in his environment. He's trying to build a new city around there. He went to all the villages and he's still doing it. He's still providing that change. One of the greatest problems we have in Africa is electricity, constant electricity, especially for people in villages, which is one of the reasons a lot of us are moving to the cities. Life in the village is way more better, but he has picked a course, and at the same time, he's making a fortune out of it. So like I said, from the beginning, and like I said, when you're providing a solution, focus on the solution. All other things that you desire will come with it. And number two, I would say, understand and analyze the environment you want to change. You can't bring a change to an environment you don't understand. And one of the best ways to do that is read books. If you're looking into education, why do we have this kind of education we have right now? Why can't we have a standard education that can be compared to all the Western countries and everything? What can I do in my own local environment? If you're living in some suburb cities and you want the kids in that environment to have the same opportunity the kids in Lagos have, or in a lot of other big cities have, how do I bring that kind of change? You have to understand what the challenges are, your environment, the problems, and how you can put for a solution to that. And I'll tell you this: change is not just going to come like that. It is hard. It's like it will fight back, and you have to be tough. I like the book that says tough times never last, but tough people do. Change is not going to come easy. You have to fight for it. So you have to repeat as much as you can. Sometimes you start, you fail, it doesn't mean that you have not done well. It just means that you're making an impact where it is tough, where it is hard, and I like the idea of co-creation. When you're starting something and you have people that can buy into your ideas, it is better to work with people, so that you can achieve better and more and better. You can't do it all by yourself. It's not easy. It's not possible. I mean, I won't say it's not possible, but it's easier when you do it with people than when you do it by yourself. Patient and persistent, it's a great strategy for you. It's virtue. I know a lot of us want it to happen like yesterday. I've never seen any business or any great things that starts yesterday and today it's like that. By the time you hear of them, it's been like 5 years, it's been like 10 years into it. Like a wise man always says, he said the only business that starts from the top to the down is digging a grave. We're not digging a grave here. When you want to build a house, you first lay the foundation. You allow the foundation to dry before you start putting a lot of stuff on it, before it becomes the house you want. So you have to be prepared to be patient. You have to be prepared to be persistent and consistent on what you're doing, and ask yourself tough questions. Some of us, when we have mentors and the mentor sits us down and talk to us and ask us tough questions, we get angry, we get agitated. Why is he asking me those kind of questions? No, you yourself need to ask yourself those questions. Why am I here? Why am I doing this? And a lot of other questions you can ask yourself. Do it and do it honestly. Ask for accountability partners, because when you are not accountable to things, it probably don't make so much meaning. You can relax. Not that a lot of people don't try in life. They try and park, and when they park, they slip off. You understand? So I know we get tired at one point, but after a while, you have to wake yourself. If it's a you have to this generation, do it. I like the word from Nike that says, "Just do it." That brings me to this, that the change that I saw, the change that I wanted, I was able to use my platform as an essay on ICT to bring people together, and from there I was able to build lives. And the most important thing, the greatest thing I've ever done in my life that makes me proud, is being able to impact those young people. And I can tell you today, they're in big companies right there in Lagos. Some of them work at InterSwitch, KPMG, Microsoft, and a lot of other big companies. Some of them are in the United States here with me too, and this, every time I see this, it makes me happy, it makes me proud, because I've been able to help a lot of families, because one person in the family is able to touch and raise other people around them, and this brings me to the conclusion. I say, in the end, I know change is not easy, but it is possible. Yes, we can do it. Just do it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Indeed, it has been an awesome time with Constance Asabie. Next is the talk of the day 2 of Emerge 2020 online conference, Idea Bath. And to take us in this TED Talk is no other person than Osagie Johnson. Osagie Johnson is a nation building advocate. He is a trained psychologist. He is a pastor and the founder of Value Added Leadership Development Center, the non-governmental organization that has put together this online conference for us. It's going to take us, it's going to walk us through the central theme of the conference. Wow, guys, this talk is cardinal to the theme of the conference. It's going to take us on idea bar. Idea bar. Perhaps you have been wondering how to conceive an idea and how to make it $1 million idea. This is the time you have been waiting for. What are you waiting for? Fasten your seatbelts as we take on this ride together. Happy listening.
You're welcome once again to Emerge 2020, a program organized by Value at the Leadership Development Center, a capacity building and training webinar. I am Osage Johnson, the convener of this program. I want to appreciate the ICJC FFC Abeokuta for working with me to make this a reality, and also the speakers. I appreciate you all a great deal. Thank you, and thank you. I'll be talking on Idea Bath, the journey to greatness. Every one of us wants to be influential, we want to be great, we want to be rich. But there's a route to it. There is a way to it. Greatness, wealth, influence are simple reward for pursuing something, such as an idea to a logical conclusion. Money is not what you pursue. When you pursue ideas, money will pursue you. Again, note this. People emerge on the platforms of the ideas most of the time. The likes of Zuckerberg manifested his idea, and the idea gave him a platform today. Again, realize this, that great businesses, innovations, product initiatives are all conceived as ideas and battered. That is why ideas in this age is very, very essential. I'll need you to do this task. It's very simple. Dare to pen down your identified problem or something that you seek to change in your life or your neighborhood. Have you done that? Thank you. Again, please do this. Put on your thinking cap to begin the process of solving an identified problem or causing a change. Now, idea about the concept. Before I go into that, what is an idea? I know we all know what an idea is, but let me just say it again. Idea is a thought conceived in the mind as a result of thinking or brainstorming on how to solve an identified problem. Ideas don't just come because you want to have an idea. Idea comes when you are browsing, when you are thinking, when you are brainstorming on how to improve on something, on how to innovate about something, or to cause a change around you. Again, idea is what comes as an inspiration to creative and constructive minds ready to provoke a change in paradigm. If you don't like where you are or what life is giving you, please start thinking. Open up your mind wide. There's always a way out. Life starts from the mind. Anything your mind conceives, I tell you, can be a reality in your life. So start thinking. Now, what then is idea bath? It starts with this. It's the process of accepting responsibility. Please accept responsibility for something, for your life. Process of accepting responsibility of causing a change by thinking strategically to solve a problem, create something new, bat an initiative, working out the idea to a logical conclusion. However, note this, that long-standing problems persist, continue until a creative and constructive idea is battered. That goes when we leave our ideas, our problems. But there are types of ideas. Let's quickly browse through this. We have the novel idea. What's novel idea? Novel idea is a concept or innovation that has never been heard of or recorded in history. For instance, one time American President John F. Kennedy called all the scientists in America, the top scientists, and gave them a chart that in the next 10 years, he wants America to land on the moon. He was not a scientist, but he gave a chart to the scientists. And you know what? Before 10 years, they landed in the moon. That was a novel idea. Again, the idea that the angel came to sell to Mary in the Christian Bible It's another novel idea. He said Mary was a virgin and the angel said she's going to give birth to a savior. That again is a novel idea. We have again new idea. The word new means an old version pre-existed. An old version has been there. So new idea is embedding a new concept into an existing whole to make it new. You know, every year we see new phones, new phones. It's still the same phone, but they have added something novel, something new to it that makes it become new. We also have a normal idea that fits into a social norms or ripe for execution in its due season. What do I mean? When a man started working or a lady started working and start earning fat or big pay, you begin to change your way of life, change your way of dressing. Such a guy will start thinking, is that time I buy a car or is that time I get married? These are normal ideas. We also have what we call imported ideas. That is bringing a working idea from a different clime into your own domain. For instance, if you travel out to Kenya or to America, and you saw something novel and you saw something new that is working there, you can bring it to Nigeria. That makes it an imported idea. Now, idea birth, the processes and the life cycle. The process and the life cycle. Now, there are different stages to this. The first stage is the mental intercourse. We all know that no woman can conceive unless she has a sexual intercourse. The same way, there's what they call mental intercourse. Without having a mental intercourse, no idea can be conceived. Ideas are conceived during mental intercourse. Now, what is mental intercourse? It's the process of talking, sharing and exchanging thoughts with self or a team about a particular thing you seek to change, solve, like a problem, or you seek to improve upon. So whenever you're in an exchanging thoughts with yourself or with a team about a particular situation you want to address, you're opening up your mind for idea conception. Now, there are pathways to this. There are pathways to mental intercourse. There are pathways to it. Now, when you start thinking or sharing on how you want to solve a problem, you're opening up your heart to conceive ideas. Let me put a story to this. My own story. I was in a fix at the time. I wanted to further in my academics. And my father had a different agenda, had a different plan for me. He wanted me to go abroad at that time. And I told him, I think I need to go further. And he said to me, if you go further, it will be at your own expense. But if you travel, it will be at my own expense. That I should choose one. You know what I did? I opted to go further in my academics. And I was on my own to pay my bills, pay house rent, pay the school fees. An idea came to me then as I was brainstorming. How do I pay my bills? I had friends then that just left the secret cult. They became Christians, born again, and they had a story to tell about the cult. So I told them to share their stories with me. You know what I did? I wrote a book called Secret Cultism in Nigerian School, The Untold Story. The book earned me good money. With that money, I was able to pay my school fees and get some things running. But it started by me doing one thing. I identified the problem. I need to pay my school fees. I began to think and I conceived an idea. Number two, attend to the pressure. One of the best things that life can give you is pressure. Pressure is meant to bring out the treasures in us. So whenever someone runs from a pressure situation, that person is missing out of seeing the treasure that is hidden in them. Let me share the story with you of Jerry Yang and David Philo, the people behind Yahoo today. They were tired, they were fed up with their PhD, they were stranded, so to say. And they were tensed up. And we had to think that what can we do to ease off this tension? Let us find something to play with, something to do. So they began to browse for ideas, they began to look for things to do to ease the academic tension, and the idea of Yahoo came to be. The rest, they say, is history. Number three, pursue your passion. But many of us, we have passion that we don't pursue. Please pursue your passion. The passion can be in love for a girl. You may be laughing, but I'll tell you a story. We all know Zoom today. The man, Eric Yan, said he conceived the idea of a video telephony when he was 17 years old. How did this idea came about? He said he sees his then girlfriend twice in a year, and that he travels 10 hours on the train to see this lady. He said one day when he was embarking upon this journey, he said, what can I do to always see this lady regularly? And that the idea of a video telephone came to mind when he was 17. Today, he has turned that idea into a money-making venture. Today, he's among the richest men on earth. He's a multimillionaire in dollars. This idea was conceived because he was pursuing a passion. He was thinking of a way to be closer to his girlfriend. Number 4, perform on your platform. Whenever you are given an opportunity to do something, please give your best to it. Give it the best shot. Please don't miss out on any opportunity. Don't say you can. You can't. You can, because you have what it takes. Joseph is an example. They knew he had this gift to interpret dreams, and Pharaoh gave me the platform. Pharaoh told him, I have a dream. I don't understand what it is. Can you help me to interpret it? Joseph did not only interpret it. Joseph brought about a strategy. He performed on stage. The idea that he gave the king, the king said, with this idea that you are brought to solve this problem, you deserve to be a prime minister. So whenever I give an opportunity, please don't fail. Give it the best shot. Give it the best shot, because that may be your link to your higher level. Now there are catalysts. There are things that fuel conception, that aids conception during mental intercourse. Number 1 is thinking. One of the cheapest things that you can do with your brain is to think. There's nowhere you cannot go to by thinking. You can go to America today by where you are right now by thinking. So thinking is an asset that you need to really, really maximize. What do I mean? When you are thinking, what do you think you are doing? You are fishing for ideas. You are fishing for ideas in the clouds. There are ideas in the atmosphere. There are ideas everywhere that can be yours by just thinking. There's a great man in Nigeria that has a room called Thinking Room. He said anytime he steps into that room, he's thinking. I myself, I have a time every day that I think. Every day, just 1 hour that I think. Please, you must have a time to think. If you want to be thick in life, if you want to come out with great ideas in life, please have a thinking time, a thinking room, or a thinking session. Number 2, reading. People always say think big. Thinking big is not automatic. Thinking big is not what you work out. Thinking big is what happens supernaturally, or let me say naturally, when you are loaded, when you are rich intellectually. Yeah, there's those that read wide. Those that read wide have the capacity to think big. So please read wide, because ideas can come in a place of reading. I tell you, ideas come in a place of reading. So please read wide. It can really help you. It can really, 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 really open up your brain to your mind to what you are not seeing before. So please read wide. And I tell you, you're able to think very, very big. Another thing that aids mental intercourse is meditation. Meditation is saying a particular inspiring word repeatedly. It may be a word from the Holy Scriptures, saying a word repeatedly, in order to gain clarity on how to handle a situation or cause a change or solve a problem. Saying the words all over again, and so as to create the right atmosphere for your mind to conceive or receive an idea. Is a tool that most CEOs all over the world use. Please engage the skill. It's very, very good. Find the time to meditate, please, and you see that your heart will be opened, receptive to conceive ideas. Now, stage 2, idea filtering. When you are meditating, you are thinking, and you are reading, lots of ideas begin to flood your mind. It's like this. Doctors say that when a man releases sperm into a woman, the sperms are more than 200 million. 250 billion sperms are released at the same time. But hear this, but only one becomes a child, only one of them. So as you are thinking or reading, meditating, several ideas will come, but only one is likely to be viable. Only one. So those ideas must be filtered. And how do you filter these ideas? All ideas have their own strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So let's apply the SWOT analysis to it. Take each idea, write them down first, and begin to think of each idea, the strength of the ideas. Think on the weaknesses of the ideas, opportunities of the ideas, one after the other. So the one that you think has the most strength and the least weakness, and that can open you up to several opportunities, and has less threat, is the one that you ought to embrace. Is the one that you ought to select. The stage 3, the antenatal stage. Now, when you have fitted the idea to one, please accommodate it. The womb of your life is the biggest room in life because it's elastic, it is limitless. So please engage those ideas. Write it down in a special book. Don't be like the fisherman, that anytime he catches a big fish, if the fish is bigger than his pot at home, he will throw back the fish into the water. Many people are like that. Myopic mindset. They look down on themselves. They say, how can I run this big idea? You know one thing, big men became big because they pursued big dreams. You are as big as your idea that you dare to pursue and accomplish in life. Nobody was born big, but we grow to become big based on what we pursue. Every human is either small as his vision, as big as their dreams, or as great as the idea. So please welcome that great idea without restraint, without complaining. Welcome it joyfully. Celebrate it. Number 2, believe it. What do I mean? What do I mean? Believing is saying. Anything you believe, you end up saying. Picture your future in the light of what the idea can fetch you or make you to become in life. Before you know, you have a drive to run towards it. You have a drive to make it real. Connect with someone with similar ideas. That's the next third step. Failing to connect begat idea stagnation, failure, and abortion. So please, I urge you, have a mentor, somebody that can manure those ideas in your mind, that can inspire you, that can drive you. I remember one time, that time that I had the idea to further for my master's, and I met this man, the professor. He used this word. He said, Osage, don't worry, come on board. I'll be with you. I'll be there for you. He stood as a father, as a friend, and also as a mentor. The man was always, advising me, pushing me, urging me. I had this idea, assuming I went to a wrong person. The person could have killed that dream. But the man said, come on board. That time I had it in mind just to go for my master's and go and look for a job. But you know what? Today I'm in the academics. It's a word. Come on board. It's working for me till now. So please go get a mentor. Somebody that is running a similar idea like as that you have conceived, or that have already achieved something similar to yours. Please go and network with them. And your idea is on the way to becoming a reality. Dream about it. Fantasies can become a reality. Dreaming keeps one going. Eat the right food that can make the idea grow. Please, knowledge increases your capacity to think through. Continue to read books that can enrich your knowledge base about the idea you want to execute. Please do a visibility study of the idea. Research and analyze your idea as objectively as possible. Identify your major target. Research about your competitors and discover your edge, competitive edge over them. Now, please do something. After you have done all that, please give it a push. Give your idea a push, not a try. Don't say, let me try this idea. No, don't say that. That's not the right spirit. Be positive. Give it a push, not a try. Push is an acronym for pursue until something happens. Pursue that idea until it becomes a reality. And when the idea has become a reality is when the idea becomes a product. Now, what do you do with the product? Every product has a name, has a brand name. So please name it. Do a wonderful naming ceremony for your idea, but let the name be what will attract your target audience. If that product is for you, please make sure the name is being that will be attractive to them. Also, after that, know your prospective customers. How do they want to be served? Serve them the way they want to be served. And again, please sell the story. Tell people the story about that business started. Some people that hear the story may tend to buy that product if that story is really inspiring. Again, buy your products. Anything you are selling, you yourself must be able to buy it. That is, it must be the best of best. Also, please promote it. Promote your product. Promote it. Promote it by doing what? Doing promos, giving people for free, just to make them to be hooked to that product. Just make them to like that product. Again, grant interviews. Be out there. Tell people about your story on the news, on the media, and also please maximize the social media very, very well. Let me conclude by saying this. Ideas are mined from the mind. Ideas mined from the mind are more valuable than mineral resources from the earth. How do I mean? A man started Apple Corporation. Today, Apple is far richer financially than United States of America. Think about that. So please push your ideas and be rewarded with a place among the great, wealthy, and the mighty. Don't be like those that die with their ideas. Please don't enrich the grave, enrich humanity. Don't enrich the grave, enrich people around you by making your ideas real. So please tell yourself, so please do this. Promise yourself, I will enrich my world. I will die empty. Thank you for listening. Have a great day. Welcome to Emerge 2020, a program organized by Value Added Leadership Development Center, a capacity building and training webinar. I am Osagi Johnson, the convener of the program. I want to appreciate ICJCF FC Abeokuta chapter. Thank you very much. Thumbs up for you. I also want to appreciate the speakers that have volunteered to be on this platform to share the ideas in order to inspire destinies, not to inspire, to push people into their authentic destiny. I'll be talking on Idea Bath, the journey to greatness. Why Idea Bath? Every one of us wants to be great, influential, rich, popular in life. Many of us don't want to be mediocres. We want to live a life of impact. But what is the route to this? There's a route to it, to greatness. Greatness and wealth, influence, riches are simple rewards for pursuing something, such as an idea to a logical conclusion. Those that pursue ideas, money pursue them. But those that pursue money will be far from them. Again, note this today. People emerge on the platforms of their ideas most of the time. Like of Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, these people have used the ideas as their platform to manifest. Again, realize this fact today that great businesses, innovations, and initiatives are products of conceived and battered ideas. That is why Idea Bath is highly essential. Please do this thing. It's really help you a lot. Please, it's a small task. Can you dare to pen your identified problem or something that you want to see change in your life, on your vicinity, in your country? What change do you desire to see in your life? Can you write it down? What problems do you intend to solve? Can you please write it down now? Have you done that? Thank you. Now please put on your thinking cap to begin the process of solving the identified problem.